The topic of my sermon today is pride and patience. And we find it from Ecclesiastes 7. Ecclesiastes 7. The elder read the scripture, and I will start from there. Before we embark on our scripture, from I will read Ecclesiastes chapter 7. It talks about wisdom. I would say Ecclesiastes specializes on how we should live daily for the Lord. There's a good reputation is more valuable than the most expensive perfume. In the same way, the day you die is better than the day you are born. It is better to spend your time at funerals than at festivals. For you are going to die, and I'm sure all of us we know that one day we are going to die. And you should think about it while there is still time. We are going to die. Let's accept the fact, because it's real, it's not fake. It's real. Sorrow is better than laughter, for sadness has a refining influence on us. A wise person thinks much about death, while the fool thinks only about having good time. Good time now. That's a fool. And then he says, it is better to be criticized by a wise person than to be praised by a fool. Indeed, a fool's laughter is quickly gone, like thorns cracking in the fire. This also is meaningless. Exhaustion turns wise people into fools, and bribes corrupt the heart. Finishing is better than starting, and patience is better than pride. Don't be quick-tempered, for anger is the friend of fools. Don't long for the good old days, for you don't know whether they were any better than today. Being wise is as good as being rich. In fact, it is better. Wisdom or money can get you most anything, but it's important to know that only wisdom can save your life. Notice the way God does things, then fall into line. Don't fight the ways of God. For who can straighten out what he has made crooked. Even prosperity, enjoy prosperity while you can. But when hard times strike, realize that both come from God. That way, you will realize that nothing is certain in this life. This book of Ecclesiastic, I would encourage all of us to read it because it is full of wisdom we can live by here on earth. As my topic, the main reason I chose this topic is I want to live a good, godly life. So, Ecclesiastic 7 sums it up like this. In the day of prosperity, be joyful. But on the day of adversity, consider this. He says, this is Solomon who was writing this book. We know Solomon was the wisest man. But did he live to it? Find it in Ecclesiastic, the whole book of whether he lived as he was wise. Solomon counsels us how to take the good and the bad of life into perspective. Take it, both good and life, into perspective. Take what life gives you and get along with best you can. That's the advice he is giving us. Take the advice. You will live a good life in the Lord. Patience is better than pride, as Ecclesiastes 7:8 says. That statement should strike home to every man. I'm speaking to men right now. But ladies, since you are the best teachers, listen also. That statement, patience is better than pride, should strike home to every man. Is it not true? Men can answer that. Is it not true that men by nature are short on patience, but long on pride? Men, when they travel with the family, say they get lost, it is the wife who would say, you can ask, go there and ask. Men will say, I will do it. I'll use my GPS or whatever. When things are really tough, they don't want to go and ask for, for help. That is, in general, I'm not saying all men, but in general, that's how we are. So masculine pride is part of what passes from being a real man. That's how we are. I am a real man, so I can't stoop down and do this and that and that and that and that. I am a real man. I want to show my wife or anybody that I am a real man. We are encouraged to believe that we can cope and that we don't need help. That's a man. But I was glad Elder Cook said, we need help to do this. He admits he cannot cope with what he is doing. So he needs an extra hand. But it's not all men who do that. So we are encouraged that we don't cope. You don't, so don't do it. But we need help as men and as ladies and as kids. We all need help. We refuse to admit weakness, thus being manly, because we feel we must convey the impression that all is well. Yeah, all is well. I need no help. I'll do it. And we also want to make ourselves believe that we are in control. But the truth is, we are not always in control of nothing. If we don't have God, there's nothing you can control on your own. So, gentlemen and ladies, there is a danger in this state of affairs, believing you can cope when you can't, and being convinced that you are adequate when you are not, is only a fast track to delusion. That you say, tell yourself I can cope. It is a fast track to delusion. But also, it is a freeway to disaster. That's the truth. We cannot run away from it. It's a freeway to disaster. If you convince yourself that you can cope with everything, you are in control of everything. You are not. That's fake. I'll give you two examples. There are many more in the Bible of such people who thought they can do it. When in the truth, they discovered the truth when they failed. If ever they did. Goliath thought he could handle David. He was boasting. He thought, this small boy, he'll be food for the birds. He was confident. He thought he was going to handle David, but he met his match. Did he handle it? No. Did he cope? No. That's life. You can get that from 1 Samuel 17. Read the whole chapter about that incident of Goliath and David. And then Luke 12, 13 to 21 talks of the rich farmer. He thought he could do it, or he thought he had done well. He was boasting of having done well for himself, but he met his maker. He met his maker. So these guys, both of them, were sure of their abilities and found out too late they were wrong. Goliath was killed by small boy David. And the farmer, we know what happened to the farmer, the rich farmer. He has built barns and he told himself that I will eat and be merry. But what happened to him? He died. So these two examples, they later found out that they were wrong because they failed. But in what way is patience better than pride? That's what we want to find out. But we have the answer from the Bible. From the same chapter, Ecclesiastes 7. The answer lies in reading the statement we have already read, but in its context. Finishing is better than starting. Finishing is better than starting. Patience counts. And also, patience is better than pride. The context of this statement emphasizes the benefits of thinking seriously about life's end. I will read again chapter 7, verse 2 to 4, in answer to this. It reads, "It is better to spend your time at funerals than at festivals, for you are going to die, and you shall think about it while there is still time. Sorrow is better than laughter, for sadness has a refining influence on us." I'm sure if you sit down and think about this, that sorrow or death makes you think more about your life. And when you think more, your life is being refined. With God's help, you will think and you think right and make good decisions. That's what Solomon gives us. So the proverb is saying that the wisdom that comes from going around the block a time or two and the resulting patience about life's outcomes is preferable to the impatience that goes hand in glove with inexperience and self-sufficiency. Think about that. So patience is better than pride. Because if you are proud, you think you know everything, you can do anything. You cannot ask for help because of the ego in yourself. So that's the difference. Patience is fence. Yes, thank you. That's patience. Listen to this conversation, which explains the difference between patience and pride. Pride and patience were talking. Pride says, I know the answer. That's pride. I don't need somebody to tell me. I know the answer. And then patience replies, you may not yet understand the question, my brother. So, in other words, he's saying, be patient, listen, understand, and then answer. And then patience replies, you may not know, you may not yet understand the question, so don't answer the question. And pride says, leave it to me and I will fix it. That's pride. You're not telling me anything. Leave it to me, I will fix it. And there's an I there. Satan fell from heaven because of I will. I. And this is life to us today. Even us Christians say, I will do it. There's nothing wrong in doing anything if it is God's way. There's nothing wrong. So we need to ask God for whatever. So here patience is telling pride, say, wait. And then pride says, leave it, I'll fix it. And then patience responds, leave it alone, and it may not even need fixing. I'll fix it. And then patience says, leave it alone. It may not even need fixing. In other words, they say, be patient, think through, ask for help. God is going to give you what you are supposed to do. He will make you answer correctly. So wait. It may not need fixing. And then pride says, I can do it. Don't bother. I can do it. And then patience retorts or replies again and said, time may tell it. Time may tell it would be better not to do it. He's still saying, guy, wait. Maybe you don't even need to fix it. Time will tell it would be better not to do it. How many times have we asked God for something and he says, wait. But we want it now. God has a reason why he doesn't give you right away as you speak. He is our creator. He knows us better than we know ourselves. So patience here tells him, man, time will tell when you can fix it, as you say. Because maybe you won't fix it, but he doesn't say it that way. He says, it would be better not to do it. He's patient and polite. I know some of us here know the story of the hare and the tortoise. It was the proud hare, that believed it had won the race, or it would won the race, even before they had started the race. But it was the patient tortoise that won the race. You know what? The tortoise was clever. He planted other little tortoises in some corners until the end. So when they said, get ready, go, the hare ran as fast as they could. But in every corner, when he thought, the hare thought, or the tortoise is slow, there was a tortoise who said, I'm here. And they ran the race. And the hare thought he was going to win. But at the winning point, because tortoise was clever, he had planted another tortoise. So when the hare could not tell the difference, there was a tortoise at the winning point. And who won it is the tortoise. It was clever. So we need help from above for anything we do and decide. That is why finishing is better than starting. The end is better than the beginning, because there is a lot of things which happen on the starting point, like it did with the tortoise. Starting, he is slow. He knew he was slow. He would not win the race, but see what he did. So finishing is better than starting. Patience is better than pride. Saints of the living God. The Bible tells us that a lot about patience We show patience to people, but also to God amid troubles or troubled circumstances. This is true of everybody. This is true of everybody. We show patience to people, but also to God amid troubled circumstances. James 1 verse 2 to 4 says this about patience. I'll lift my Bible because I wanted to see. It says this about patience. James 1 verse 2 to 4. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, whenever trouble comes your way, let it be an opportunity for joy. For when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be strong in character and ready for anything." So faithfulness to God translates into patience in everyday life. Patience is what we need to pray for in life. Say you have misunderstanding with a friend or your wife or your husband. You need patience. Because in the talking, things may happen which are not right or even increase misunderstanding. So you need to listen and be patient. That's what James is saying. Says faithfulness to God translates into patience in everyday difficulties, knowing that God is using tough times to grow our endurance. We need to endure. You cannot endure if you are not patient. So patience is better than pride. Because if you are proud, you won't enjoy anything. Because what you have in your mind is, I can do it. I know. I can fix it. But the way you fix it might not be right. And then also James 5, 7, and 8 encourages us to be patient. I will read it. This is my last verse. Verse 7 of chapter 5 of James says, "Dear brothers and sisters, you must be patient as you wait for the Lord's return. Consider the farmers who eagerly look for the rains in the fall and in the spring. They patiently wait for the precious harvest to ripen. You too must be patient and take courage, for the coming of the Lord is near." This is the message that Ecclesiastes gives us. Patience is better than pride. Patience has all the answers we need, but pride, we get nothing from. Is my prayer